Hey, that's what Liam would do, wouldn't he? Let me just zoom out, actually, just a tiny bit. Oh, that's the other way around, Nico. There we go. Mic is on. Mic is on. I did check this time around before people start saying muted. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I sure did. I finally rounded up my work that I had to be doing to finally celebrate my week off, because there was just a tiny little bit more that I had to do. Sengui, thank you so much for the sub. I'm going to note you down. Sengui is saying, we're on the case. Let's investigate. Right, Sengui, you're also in the Book of Eternity right now. Yes, so I've had a really busy Saturday. I've also been on a wonderful walk. So I just have my steps in as well. I have to do a little shop, and I celebrated again with a very nice chicken peri-peri wrap with some Pyrenees, which is just incredible. It's like one of my favorite things to eat, and also still not have to worry too much about it being unhealthy. But before we talk about food, I'm going to say hello to Bandit7512, Lurker, Chocobo Breeder is here as well. Welcome in, Chocobo Breeder. We have Stu Sharp and Georgia. Georgia saying, objection! Welcome in, Georgia. We have, obviously, Sengui. Welcome on in. We have Mr. James Ether as well, Insomnia Aaron. We have Crazy Murdoch saying, hello. We've got Illusion here as well in the chat. Welcome in, Illusion. Miss Donnie is here, and Karaya 1987 is here as well with another objection. We've got I Need More Chicken Nuggets saying, hello. Who else do we have? I see Mr. James Ethers here as well. Welcome on in. Bandit75. So we always sit there. We got Megan in the chat as well. Hello, Megan. Welcome on in. We've got 90 over here. Welcome in, 90, with the dancing dinosaur. Ivaris is here as well. Welcome on in. Who else do we have? I think that might be everyone so far. Yeah, it is. Obviously, if you're lurking as well, welcome on in. Hope you enjoyed the stream coming up to you in a moment. And obviously, I want to give a quick shout out to our moderators who, yeah, Karai, you're right. I still read it in the way how I want to read it, because I'm never going to call you a god, thank you very much. That's don't you think that's a little bit of a stretch to expect that from people? Anyways, what is it? I lost my trail of thought over there for a second. Yes, so we're going to be playing Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, which is probably the longest name that we've had on BuddyGames right now. And I'm super excited for this one for a good reason. Because, first off, we, last January, played Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Now, this is an American copy, I believe. No, it's I think it's an Asian copy, but yes, I got this one imported thanks to Play Asia to get this one, because I really wanted to have this one physically. So we have it digitally and physically now as well. But yes, we played these first, which is 3 games that Capcom gave us that were originally on the DS. But now, we were all speculating, are they going to do Miles Edgeworth? Because there's a huge audience out there that if you've played the Ace Attorney games, you really want to see these Miles Edgeworth games. I know that Sengui is a big fan of the Ace Attorney Investigations games as well. And luckily, I got this one too. So this game is where it all started, and this game has basically been remade by Capcom in wonderful HD. It's got new graphics, new soundtrack, new everything. It is super cool. And when I played this game back in the day, I thought it was so nice, because when you play Ace Attorney and Miles Edgeworth does show up in it. Thank you so much for the hydrate, BSC. I'm going to make my point first, and then I'll have a sip. But yes, what is it? These games, like, when you play Ace Attorney and Miles Edgeworth does show up, you're like, oh god, he's so cool. I wish he just had like his own game. And I know that sounds very cheesy, but it truly is like that. He is such a cool character. He could just carry an entire game by himself, and he did. And it's this game over here. Now, what makes it a bit sad though is there was another game that came after this one. We never got that one. So Capcom in the past had a couple of was it Ace Attorney games that didn't come over to the West. They came in digital form, but they just some of them just didn't really come over. Like the Great Ace Attorney, they fixed that now. We've got the the Apollo Just Trilogy. Those games were stuck on 3DS. Now they're back that you can play them with all the DLC and stuff. And now we finally have landed on Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney, which is now called the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. And what's really cool about that one is that the sequel has finally been translated over, so now everyone can enjoy that one as well. So if you've not played that one, I hope you're looking forward to that one. I'm certainly looking forward to checking that one out. But yeah, the first game and the sequel are now finally fully remastered and whatsoever for this collection. I'm going to go into depth about what this thing has to provide, because honest to God, they keep getting better with quality of life improvements, and I look really forward to show those to you. B. Stevens says, yes, sir. I'm going to have a sip now on your behalf. Stu Sharp says, Edgeworth is the GOAT of Ace Attorney. He absolutely is. Like I said, he could carry his own games if he wants to. Obviously, I've got all these other games around me as well. I've got, because obviously I collected a couple of games in the meantime. Where is it? I think I was facing the wrong way. There we go. We got Ghost Trick over here. Very proud to own that copy. And if you look down here, we have an... I think it's it's a Japanese copy of Ghost Trick, because Capcom sadly did not bring out a Western release. By the way, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Ace Attorney Investigations actually has a physical release here in the West, as in like here in Europe and stuff. So if you're looking to get the game we're about to play physical, you can now. This is probably worth mentioning in case you're already on PlayAsia being like, oh, I need to get my copy before I want to have it. So that's just a thing to be wary of. But yeah, what is it? How have you all been, buddies? Have you guys had like a good Saturday so far? Because like I said, I sure did. I finally was able to relax, and I've got a whole week off, and I'm so happy because it's been very, very busy, as you can see on BuddyGames, but in a good way, because I love doing this. And September is just a very busy month because so many games come out, and we obviously want to not only play some games that we want to do, we also kind of want to cover some games here and there, and this is obviously one of them. BST says, Chills Saturday, but Friday the 13th was intense. What was so intense about your Friday the 13th? So my Friday the 13th was also intense because it was like the last day of like you having to look like a handover and stuff, and it was a lot. I was quite exhausted at the end of the day, and because of that, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to postpone the stream to Saturday. Obviously, also worth mentioning, Rosie today, right now, it might already be over, but right now she is at the Final Fantasy Union pub quiz. So if it happens that you just stumbled upon this stream because Rosie mentioned it, hello, my name is Nico. I hope you're enjoying the show. Guaranteed Rosie will be there for Bloodborne. Was it tomorrow? So if you're looking at this VOD now or in the past or whatsoever, then at least now you know about that one. Agamemnon says, I had a bit of a challenging day, but I got myself a new book and an excellent donut. Nice. I am a big fan of donuts. I really like it when they're glazed and they have like little sprinkles on them and stuff. I'm so classic. I love the strawberry. No, what kind of flavor even is it? But like the pink glazing. I really like that one. If you're here in the UK, there's a shop in Cardiff, very close to Cardiff Castle, and is it good? It's so good. They're very expensive. They're like, I think like £3, but you get like a giant donut and it will fill you up for the rest of the day. It is so good. I kind of want one now. Really Crash is here. Welcome in, Really Crash. Hope your Ocarina of Time randomizer went well. I was the guy who stumbled in on your stream, in case you're wondering, because obviously your team of 3. But yeah, what is it? That's great, Agamemnon, with your donuts. Miss Donnie says, started placement on Monday, do chilling as much as possible. Great, Miss Donnie. What games are you going to be chilling with? I mean, you don't have to do a game, but, you know, just wondering. Andy Sloan is here as well. Hello, Andy. Welcome on in. Yes, we're going to be playing Ace Attorney in a bit. I'm excited to show that all to you. George says, yesterday was chill, but today I decided to clean my entire house. That can be quite the exercise, you know? Like, people underestimate how exhaustive cleaning can be. And also, if you've got, like, only one arm properly working, which I'm in that position right now, when you're trying to scrub, like, anything off of the plates and whatsoever, it is so ridiculously hard. Or if I'm trying, like, to empty the bin, because, yeah, we've got those bins we have to pull the bin out, the bin bag out, and I was always like, Rosie, could you help me with the bins, please? And then, yeah, so there's loads of moments where Rosie has to jump in because I don't have, like, grip strength in both arms at the moment. Really crashes it went well, thanks, and I appreciate you hopping in. It's nice when people I love watching come in and say hi. Yeah, no worries, Really Crash, because obviously you promoted it in our Discord, and, you know, I'm being honest, like, if people promote their streams in our Discord, I will more likely check it out. So, I'm not saying I will be there, but I will say I will be obviously checking it out if I've got time and stuff. Because I would love to meet new streamers in our community. Womble is here as well. Welcome in, Womble. Says the double compartment bin can present a challenge. I love that the double compartment bin. Like, you're now aware of that one, Womble, because yeah, it's quite the famous bin. Too bad Rosie doesn't take as much care of it for how big its reputation is. George has found the shrug emote. Very happy to see that. If people want to spam the shrug emote, go for it. Right now, I don't mind. I saw something over here. Hold up, I think I've been. There we go. Lamode over here says, I've been looking after my mum today as she's poorly. You know what, Lamode? That's very nice of you to take care of your loved ones. Can we get some clap emotes for Lamode for taking care of family members on your day off? That's wonderful. Hope she obviously does well soon. And obviously you can find a way to relax now because, yeah, taking care of people can be quite exhaustive, especially, you know, don't know what the circumstances are, but yeah, it can be quite tough. Who else do we have? I see Sangui saying looking at the VOD in the past. I'm not quite sure what that comment is about, but it is what it is. Murdoff, hello, welcome on in. Yeah, so okay, right, I'm gonna start moving on now. So we also have, if you're new here, we've got the Book of Eternity, which is this little icon over here, but it's also this little book over here, and we're getting super close, by the way, to finishing it. Look, this is the amount of pages that we have left. So Rosie's new challenge is coming up to find a new book that can top, if not do better than this stunning looking book. Look how much gold we have lost, everybody, by the way. Like, it's almost like a battery or something of how much there is left. But yes, the Book of Eternity. This is a wonderful book. And if you want to be in the book, it's not hard, because all you have to do is give subs, bits, donate, or raid into our stream today, and your name will be noted down in the Book of Eternity. And what we will do with it is we will put that at the end of the stream, and we'll give you a wonderful little shout out, just like that. And yeah, what else? Also worth mentioning as well is that we have hit our first goal, and that means that Liam will have to play a Souls-like game. So yes, we can do that in any way how we want, but I wanted to make it very vocal right now that if you want to vote for that poll and you're wondering when that poll comes up, it will go live tomorrow, probably at some point, if not at the end of the Bloodborne stream. So be wary of that when you want to vote for that one. The poll will go up more likely for a week or something. I don't know how long you could set these on Discord, but I think I saw you can set them up for a week. And you have then plenty of time to consider your vote and what games you want Liam to check out. It's going to be a one-time 3-hour stream, so pick wisely with that one. My vote will go to Bloodborne, personally. I've been enjoying Bloodborne a lot, and I think it's a great game. I really want to convert Liam as well, that he may actually catch a Bloodborne bug. So that is a thing. But not only that, but right now we are on 152 sub points, which means that if we hit 200, I will promise you, if we hit 200 by October 1st, I will promise you that in the October season, you will get a Chaos stream as well. And it's going to be with channel points and whatsoever. So we will probably also integrate bits as well if people really want to, like, create extra Chaos. But it's going to be all based on channel points. So you don't have to worry about contributing in that way. But that is a thing that we're going to be doing as well if we hit that goal. Now, this is not like a push to be like, you know, we're going to try to hit that goal ASAP or as best as we possibly can, of course. This is just a thing that's there because it's September and people said usually do like cool stuff for their audience in return. So yes, that's what we have in place for that one. But we've achieved the first goal, which is the golden one. That's the one that we wanted, right? Let's be real here, buddies. Let's see, who else do we have here? Mr. James Ether says, I think my heart is voting on Elden Ring so Liam can do open world exploring. Yeah, Kevin had a really good argument about that one. Kevin said that if we all vote for Elden Ring, what will happen is Liam will have that liberty of just like staring at bushes and trees and stuff. And we don't want that, of course. We want him to play a Souls game. We don't want him to stare at a Souls game. So I think Bloodborne is a really good one because, well, Bloodborne will push you forward. You can't just, you know, yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but I'm not saying that you will want to watch a 3-hour stream of him staring at, I don't know, the cathedral church or whatever, right? It's a thing. Crazy Murder said, oh, look at the expert, a Bloodborne expert now. Hey, what can I say? I mean, I've been playing a good old 50 hours or so of Bloodborne as we've established. But yeah, I'm very excited actually for Bloodborne to come back. It comes back tomorrow, and we do have a special guest for that one in return. Can't say who it is, but I'm very excited to have them on the stream. It's going to be a new guest, by the way, in case people are wondering. Really Crashes Demon Souls. Yes, I think I'm not really sure which Demon Souls it's going to be. I'd probably favor and say it's going to be PS5 version that we're going to be playing. But yes, that's the thing. Karaya doubts it. I don't know what you're doubting, Karaya. What's up? What are you doubting? What do you think ain't going to happen? What do you think ain't going to happen? Karaya, you're also now in the Book of Eternity. There we go. It's also almost Halloween, everybody. Are you excited for it? We actually have... I bought a PS1 game for... what is it? For the Halloween season. It's going to be the opener of October. I'm very excited to show it. Insomnia Ara says, Jimothy Caddick. You think Caddy is going to be on the channel? That would be massive, wouldn't it be? Yeah, I would love to have Caddy in my playthrough, but he's a very, very busy man. That's the problem. Miss Donnie, thank you so much for the bits. Yes, that means that all the spooky alerts will come back as well, so looking forward to that. Insomnia Aaron says Medieval, please. Insomnia Aaron, we've actually did a complete playthrough of Medieval on BuddyGames. It's on the VOD channel right now, so if you type !VOD, you can find that there. And not only that, but we've actually done Medieval 2 before. It's going to be... Liam and me did that, I think it was... last year or maybe even the year before that one. But yes, we have played Medieval 2 a little bit as well. So if you're looking forward to that one. No, it's too sharp. No, again? What, buddy, why do people want to see Medieval over and over? I think we seriously have played Medieval 4 times on BuddyGames. I'm not even joking. Play Jersey Devil, says Crazy Murder. We do own a copy of Jersey Devil. Is it a horror game? I've heard it's got quite the reputation, so I wonder about that one. Crazy Murder says, I've taken Halloween week off work. We take it serious in the Murdaff household. That's wonderful. Do you have like sweets and red? What's stuff ready for the whole family? Medieval hits that sweet spot of comfort and horror. I've always said this, but like as soon as you know summer closes in and you get that point where it becomes a little bit colder, a little bit nippier outside, you see that the light starts to the sunlight starts to dim down sooner. You just feel like you want to start like wearing like sweaters and that kind of stuff. That's when you know. That's when it's Medieval time. And I love to like make the whole room like this kind of like violet / indigo-ish color and just sit there and just play Medieval. Medieval is the perfect icebreaker for a Halloween season. And it's got that, what I'd like to call like that old trick-or-treat Halloween esque game. Because, you have the your horror games like Alien Isolation, Outlast, Resident Evil, and those are really like scary, trying to put the fear inside of you. But you also have obviously your Trick or Treat, kind of more cutesy, and you know, with horror costumes and whatsoever. And those kind of games, I would probably say like a game like Medieval, I'd probably put there, unless you find Medieval very scary, which I know some people have in the past. I think I've shared that story a few times now. Every Halloween, I set up a projector outside at night and play Bloodborne while passing out candy. Oh, that's wonderful, Evaris. You're playing Bloodborne around that time. Yeah, I think we're going to land in an awkward position where we're just beating Bloodborne when we're going into the Halloween season. But hey, I'm blowing my own horn here. I got a couple of more bosses to go, so I might be stuck on that one for a while. Mr. James says, it's nippy outside now. I'm thinking of putting my heating on. I'm trying to hold out until October. Mr. James, it's very interesting you say that because I had a chat with Liam about this today. And the last 24 hours have been very, very interesting here in Bristol because it's what happened is like last night, it was like 3, 4, 5-ish degrees or something outside, and it was so nippy. It was like you could see your breath and whatsoever, and you could feel that the winter was coming. And then today, it was full on 19 degrees throughout the day. It was sunny, it was warm, I had shorts on, and I said to Liam, I wish that every day was like this. Just like having a nice, cool and chilly, night that cools off everything again, and then you just have it lovely and nicely warm and sunny throughout the day as well. So that's perfect in my book. But then Liam brought up the point of like, oh, we don't want to take a coat to work and then take it off and that kind of stuff. Like, you know what? True. Like, you do have to carry a lot of clothing around, which I remember in my school days I really did not like. Sengui says, my room is super cold and I'm loving it. I'm in shorts. I like a really cool room as well when I'm asleep. I don't know what it is, but if the room is too warm, I tend to not sleep well. Little Nightmares 2, says Miss Donnie. That's a great game. It's not Little Nightmares 3. I bet Chocobo would know this one. But there is another game coming out that is like Little Nightmares, and it's got co-op in it that I'm excited to see. There's a lot of like Little Nightmares-ish games coming out from the lovely people at Bandai Namco, so very excited for that. It's Reanimal. Am I reading that correctly, Lena? That might be the game, yeah? I'm not entirely sure, but there's like a co-op Little Nightmares coming out, and you know, I'm not making promises here, but you know, BuddyGames, 2 people, we have a history with Little Nightmares. You know, we'll see where that one leads us. But yeah, very excited to see where that one goes. Ms. James Edith says, I only learned last night that Little Nightmares 2 was the PS Plus game for the month. Instant download. Yes, get that game. We played it a few years ago here on the channel, and it was really good. Yeah. So yeah, buddies, I think I'm ready to go into Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. You guys have been waiting for long enough now. But you know, we're in a rare opportunity where we can have a little chat without having to worry so much about what the clock says, so to speak. Right, let's go into it. Are you buddies ready? Let's go. Ace Attorney Investigation Collection. Now, what is it? I put the webcam a little bit lower. I think this is probably the best framing for today's stream. But the first thing I want to show you is these menus over here, because what is it? This game has got some really cool quality of life improvements. So the first thing that really stood out to me is that obviously if you listen to it, you're like, hey, wait a second, this music is all new. Yeah, Lane in the menu, indeed. Here we go. But trust me, it's got some good value to it. So not only do you have everything like the original soundtrack, you now also have everything arranged as well. I'm going to keep it on arranged for today, but just to let you know, you can swap between the two if you want to go for the original experience or whatnot. What they've also done, which I was not expecting, by the way, is that they have updated all the graphics. But not only that, you can actually go back to the pixel art if you insist. So it's really cool of Capcom that they give you that option as well. Now, I think this is a new one. I haven't seen this one yet in any of the Ace Attorney games. But now you can change the voices and keep it in English as well. So if your preference is like the Japanese voices where they all go Igari and that kind of stuff, then you can do that now, which I think is super cool. Now I'm gonna have to move my camera a little bit away. Or we put it over here. Now this is a game changer, buddies. Now, one of the things that Rosie and I do when we play the Ace Attorney games is that we love playing them when we're having dinner because, obviously, you know, when you have dinner, you like to watch something, but sometimes you want to play something as well. But the problem is when you're playing is that you're eating and you don't obviously want to make your controller grubby. Sometimes you want to just watch something. Ace Attorney is perfect for that. And I'm very happy to see that they embrace it because I know there's a lot of people that are like, you know, you're playing a game, what are you doing? But what is it? It's all about experiencing that story, of course. So what they have done now, I think it's over here. You can change the autoplay speed. And I think, I'm not entirely sure, I think it was somewhere else in these menus. Yeah, here we go. The wait time in between of the autoplay, you can change. So if you're like one of people like me who doesn't have English as a native language, and it takes you just a little bit longer to comprehend what it says on screen, because Rose is a faster reader than I am, you can now change that. You can change the speed in which the autoplay plays. That's insanely cool. Like that, I haven't seen that yet in any of the Ace Attorney games. So that experience of like just putting it on autoplay whilst, you know, you're having your dinner or whatsoever is now even more enhanced. I think personally that's a really cool thing that they've done. And obviously you got your bells and whistles over here. But yeah, so that's all kind of stuff that you more likely won't hear any other streamer about. And I'm not trying to like to sell you the game. Like, I'm not trying to like to sell you the game in a way to be like, oh, look at all these cool features. No, but genuinely, that is so cool, though. Genuinely, that does change, what is it, how you experience them when you do when you do play the game like we do. Right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do title selection. Yeah, and as you can see, we've got Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Now, but if I remember correctly, I think it's about like 30 hours to beat every game. So you have about 60 hours worth of content over here. And what I think is cool as well about these, I know that most of them already have this. I'm not going to press it, but I believe, you know, I'll just do it this way. 1 sec. In case I spoil it. Awesome. Okay, I'm correct about this. So, if you go in the episode select, let's say, for instance, you remember playing the first case on the DS back in the day, you can actually go and select the chapter straight out of the gate where you left off from that game as well. So it's not like you have to unlock everything first in order to get to the point that you remember playing, let's say, on older hardware, or maybe if you have got the game on another system as well. So you don't get that screwed up, essentially. You know, that's great. That's genuinely stuff that changes the experience a little bit. So yeah, we're going to start with episode 1 and the first game. It's a nice brief case that shows you the ins and out of the game. So we're going to do that one for today. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. I think I'm going to put myself here. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough. But a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. This is all also in HD now. Look at him with his... Look at him at his Kenshiro Omae wa mo shinderu pose. That's one death indeed, Miss Donnie. Always has been, always will be. March 14th at 2 in the morning. Prosecutor's building at the 12th floor hallway. Right, I'm gonna have to give Edgeworth a voice. So I'm just gonna I'm not going to put up a British voice, otherwise we will scare everyone away today. So I'm not going to do that. But I'll just try to give him just a neutral voice for now to make things easy on myself. So Edgeworth is thinking to himself, saying, Oh, let me just do this. It's hard to believe that I've been away from the office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office. And keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Look at it. Look at this streets of rage scrolling. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. What a cool opening, by the way. Straight into the action. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve. Committing murder on a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one! You're not gonna get away with any murder in my house. And he got away with murder in Edgeworth's house. So there you go. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into the multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. Miss Donnie says he looks so dapper. Yeah, he does. He's very majestic in the Ace Attorney series. For people that are... By the way, it's probably also worth mentioning before I move on. If you're wondering where this game takes place, because there's actually a whole timeline to the Ace Attorney games. If you're interested in this game and you want to play them chronologically, get the Ace Attorney trilogy first, which is in this lovely box over here that we imported. So you want to go for a game that looks like this first. These three games. And then once you've beaten the third game, that is when Miles Edgeworth will take place. So that's probably just worth knowing about in case you want to play it in the right order. Sonic Lane says, majestic! An attorney is an attorney. Even with a murder. Right. Truly, no one pulls off a cravat like Edgeworth. It's very true. And there's tons of cool references in this room as well, because not only is it a almost one-for-one replica from the rooms that we've seen in the other games, but there's tons of references to old cases in here as well, like the prosecutor's trophy in the background, and the steel samurai that was gifted to Edgeworth. So yeah. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir! How are the audio levels, by the way, buddies? Are they all good? Ah! Oh, here we go. Gumshoe's back, everybody! Okay, I know what voice I'm gonna give him. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran here straight away. Good on my end, says Sharp. Awesome. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with a local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case from the time being. So, Edgeworth and Gumshoe got quite the history if you've played the game. So, it's very, very, very cool to see Gumshoe back, by the way. It's been so long, hasn't it, buddies? For those who have played the franchise, to see Gumshoe back on screen. One of the best characters in the franchise. And I think To be honest, if I see this screen, I think for Rosie, it would be a very hard pick to put on the boyfriend list between these two. Now, I know that Godot will be her pick, but between these two, that will be tough. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ha! Look at what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. These games look pretty fun, not gonna lie. Yeah, George, because I remember last time you were interested in this game back in January, and I was thinking of you to be like, oh gosh, there's now 2 more games you can put on your backlog, so look forward to that one. Womble is leaving or something. Womble says, I'm going to lurk as well. I really want to play this. Hope everyone has a lovely stream. No worries, Womble. Enjoy your lurk. And I see that Fernando is here as well. Yes, Fernando's here. Welcome in, Fernando. Hope you're doing well. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Ho-ho! That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. So, Edgeworth has got a superpower, because most of these Ace Attorney characters, they have a superpower, and Edgeworth is literally logic. That's it. He's got logic. He doesn't have... That's his superpower, and he's very good at logic. Just so you know. Right. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Now, this is new for people that haven't played the Ace Attorney Ace Attorney Investigations games, and we're going to go in depth about that in a minute. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering about that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? You're back with snacks, Sangui. What did you get? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between 2 pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So, how do you use it? First, I recall the information that we've gathered with L1, and then I connect them together with the triangle button. Now, to use L1 and recall the facts. Right, I'm going to put myself here for a moment. So, just to warn you, buddies, but it's going to be quite a tango with the camera for today. We had that last time as well. Crime scene in my office. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Now you can do this, and then you can grab another piece. You'll find tons of pieces, and then you have to see if you can put them together. And once you do that, you get a new revelation. Now I've got a life bar on the top right, top left, and that's like over here, above me. And that is to what is it? If I make too many mistakes, too many like tries, the game will punish me for that. Now I'm not sure if you can turn that off in this game. I know that some of them you can turn it off, but what is it? That is something to be wary of. You can't just guess away and hope that you will find it. Virus says logic, something the customers in my store are completely lacking. You need to recommend your customers this game and let them experience logic for the very first time, Avaris. They will not know what hit them. We got the dancing Nico cam, yeah. We got the Da, 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 da. Okay, well, let's stop doing that before people leave. Right, let's connect these two. Doing things my way. Successfully making a connection during logic without using story mode. Awesome. So yeah, that's worth mentioning as well. If you're one of these people that just want to experience the story, you can do that too, by the way. You can just put it on autoplay. You don't have to worry about picking up any results, and you can just play it that way. Completely valid way of experiencing these games. Edgeworth is saying, for security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. So it's great as well as you listen now. You can see that the music is remastered as well, which is great to hear. The DS did not have as wide of a sound palette as these games now have. So that's quite cool to see as well. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth will remain. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! So this is different from the Ace Attorney franchise. So normally, you'd be able to... Oh, I'll get to that in a second, sorry. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply press the X button when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use triangle, okay? I'll give you a great, precise advice as an Ace Attorney investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. So, this is already quite different. So normally, you would literally play an Ace Attorney game like this. You would have your cursor, and you would just be like pointing at something and clicking on it. Now, this was quite fun in the DS days because you'd be literally clicking on whatever you're looking for. But in this game, what's different about it is that you just walk around in this room. And you can just pick the actual things up and talk to the people in it. So what's cool about it is that it gives the games a completely new dimension to play in, which we didn't see initially with the DS games. How is it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprints lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. And as you can see, you got like your little normal point and click things like with little text marks and stuff to know how things are going. Chard, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to BuddyGames. My name is Nico. Normally we have a team of 3. We're streaming from PS1 games all the way to PS5. And today we're playing Ace Attorney Investigations. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right now in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction! Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Alright, let's have a look at this. That's actually quite cool that the game shows where you can examine things. I know that not all games had that, where you just had to like click until you'd get something. I think with the original games, they had this too, but it's now a little bit more sleeker and stuff. There's still certain points of interest that will revert to first-person examination. Yeah, exactly. It's too sharp. But it's just like, this is like a new experience for people. By the way, have you buddies noticed that I've been like fully red and that kind of stuff for this stream? I wish I had as cool of a blazer as Edgeworth does, but apparently that's out of my price range today. Chard, it is not my first playthrough, but it's been quite a while because this game is 14 years old. But I do remember playing it back in the day. In fact, I've got my copy right here, over here. So yes, that's a thing. Also, buddies, if this stream goes well, I might treat you all to a little bit of Astro at the end of it, just to let you know. I'm really in the mood to play some Astrobot tonight, so we'll probably after 10 p.m. we might do a little bit more. Just to let you know that in advance. What do we have here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it will mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I love that Edgy is such a fanboy that he still has a Steel Samurai model when the old bag send him. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty kick-ass figurine. I know Sengui may have already mentioned this. Sengui, our moderator in the chat. But Sengui had the Steel Samurai as their ringtone for the longest time. And let's be real. Let's be real, Ace Attorney fans. You were one of those people. You also had the Steel Samurai as your ringtone. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. I've seen one of these before. Can it enlighten me as to where? Oh, how I know? I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now when I think about it, you do see this model around at the precincts a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct detectives. Studio says, don't expose me like this, Nico. Exactly. I know my Ace Attorney fans. Sengui says, I mentioned it multiple times already. Wonderful. And Stella says, yeah, Astro. Yeah, I'll go in depth about it when we're going more quieter moment in the game. So it's the same type of result. Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the chessboard. Edgeworth is famous for his chess in these games, after all. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set! I've had it all set up ready for when you go back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. Well, in that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity. Whoa! Whoa, Edgeworth! Calm down, man. Wow. Something tells me Gumshoe isn't the best detective. Mr. James Ether, please, if you ever have way too much time, go play the original Ace Attorney trilogy. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. And if you don't like them, I will cut down my salary for you. There you go. That's your little inside joke for you. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than it when I was first bought. Oh, yeah. The thing's so polished that it makes the mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you've had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. And he's doing his little poses as well, which is great to see. Well, that's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock him his pay. There you go. See? See? I know my Ace Attorney. I know it. I love that I looked at the chat right here before I looked in the camera. But there you go. There was a long time where nobody thought the sequel would ever come. Very true. It is quite the miracle, isn't it, Chart, that we're having all these games. Probably, Chart, it's worth mentioning since you're new here. I did already show this, but I have got this imported over here, which is the Japanese Switch games. I thought they listed it as the PS4 games, but I got the Switch games instead. But, you know, I can live with it because these games look wonderful regardless of which platform you get them on. So worth mentioning as well, this game is on multiple platforms, by the way. If you're more of a Steam Deck guy, for instance. Or gal, or whatever, right? Right. Let's see. Gumshoe is like a golden retriever, was a human. I'd say that Maya is more of a golden retriever, But, what is it? It is quite funny how often Gumshoe scoops his head. Ah, it's your trophy. The Knights of Prosecutors, right? King. It's Kings of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only sent this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes. But I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir! I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to the worth to me. Yeah, Edgeworth is very, very sassy towards Gumshoe. But yeah, this is a reference to the original Ace Attorney trilogy, which we'll leave it there for now. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What is it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai. And his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. I think Edgeworth is describing Kamen Rider and that kind of stuff right now, which has a quite similar vibe to that. However, spin-offs like Pink Princess, Warriors of Neo Old Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with a deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, gives its presence. You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabbit fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. Right, we should probably investigate the picture over here, if we can. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on the sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm going to work hard to be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Right, let's have a look at the body over here. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. There you go, there's the line. We got Kevin Scully in the chat. Welcome on in, Kevin. Hope you're doing well. What have you been up to today? I hope you had a good Saturday so far. Yeah, Stu Shop, he's absolutely watching the show. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, this is what Stu Sharp was hinting at. This is very much akin to the original game, where you can point at something and then scan it. So let's just scan this item here. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I've got the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink. Let's have a look inside. Buddy! There you go. The accused is here. Welcome, Sully. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. I have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now, to calmly use some logic and figure it out, any of them are connected to each other. So yeah, that's why I picked this game out of the two, because this game really kicks off very nicely with all the stuff that we can do. Let's put ourselves down here so it looks like I'm thinking all these things. If, buddies, if any of these speech bubbles would be around me right now, what would it say? What would it say? Found a real... found at the crime scene. It's the same model as those used as the detectives. Yes. And we've got this one over here. I think these two are connected. Yeah, let's go. The revolver, the standard model used by the detectives. Could it have belonged... Sengoy says, I could go for Tesco meal deal. It's not Tesco with me, I'm afraid. Tesco meal deals are a Kevin thing, not me, I'm afraid. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we have here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. So my guess is that... Monkey! Monkey is one of my thoughts, apparently. Return to Monkey. I do really like monkeys, to be fair. I only know like one British store, and now I get flamed on stream. You're not being flamed, I'm just saying. Georgia says, Avis came, Samantha teapot, and ow, my arm. Fortunately, though, I've got most of my flexibility back in my arm. It's just right now, it's grip that I'm struggling with. So, you know, I can hold things like this, but when I'm like trying to put force in it or like opening a lid or something, that's when I struggle. Sainsbury's, no, I'm when it comes to meal deals, I'm more of a co-op person, I'd say. TRG is here. Welcome in, Carl. Saying, spoiler alert, the killer was Rosie. She pressed the wrong button and chaos ensued. Hi, everyone. Welcome in, Carl. Hope you're doing well. You're also going in the Book of Eternity. How are you doing? How's Amber doing? And how is Luna doing? Dark Beast. Look at this warm welcome you're getting. Blade Blur is here. Welcome in, Daniel. Hope you're doing well. So no reason to struggle when you are around. Victim's revolver data jotted down in my organizer. Are you going to be okay with keeping the track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way that I know to keep track of it all. All right, if you say so. I look any and all evidence in my when I find in my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R1 to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking these facts often. Let's see what I can find about this gut revolver. Ah, yes, it's got 3D as well, which is the best thing about these. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the right stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. In the L1 and R1, got it. Yeah, so you can do this on the DS as well back in the day, where you could have a 3D object and you could spin it. And it's actually really nice to see that the model is very nicely upscaled from the original, because it was a lot blockier. Let's see. Oh, gee, watch out where you point that. Anyways. What can we find on it? Ah, we can pick on this. I always like the M&S meal deals. Yeah, Chocobo. M&S is fantastic. Indeed, yeah, that's what people always say, but it's a little bit more spenny. That's the thing with them. So M&S and Waitrose and stuff, they're obviously some of the best out there, but you're also paying like double, if not triple, in some cases. I think that Co-op has the best bang for buck for that reason. Asda's surprisingly not that great, in my opinion. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the victim with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. That's quite interesting because, yeah, there's obviously the gun bullet in the office that's been shot, and we were there in the night. But there's obviously a bullet in this person as well, so what's that all about? Where's Lee tonight? He's too busy struggling with Rugrats. Yeah, it's free on Epic, I believe. Right now. Let's give the body... Oh, let's check the body once more. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach areas. Oh, it looks like passed straight through stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep. And until the autopsy is done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please, have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Okay, awesome. The body was found around 2. Yeah, we found the body after all. Your files all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. There's some message as well next to it over here. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? I guess this is about all we're doing to find out. We should send the body to the auto... Jim? Right, I think I'm just gonna go for my standard store brand liquid snake for him. Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Portman, prosecutor. Tim and I were partners in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So, you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal! Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here. But so, when a body gets found in your office, then you have done it instantly? Is that a thing that happens often? High Prosecutor's office all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you, then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? All right, I get the point. You're right. My mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Do you love how he's twitching with his hand? A pleasure working with you. You guys were predicting an investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there, sir. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. What? What? That's messed up. Are you joking? Yo, what's wrong with this guy? That's wild. Also, point and click fans, this is like the best time to be alive because not only do you have this game, you also have who is Emio that Nintendo did a surprise announcement of 2 months ago, and we also have the Portopia game that came out. I need to look up what the name is because it's quite a mouthful. This game. One sec. Oh my days. They've really done a good job promoting this one. Murder case. I want to get this correct because it is definitely worth it. Design the characters are always so good. Oh my god, I forgot to bring my Ace Attorney art book. There's a wonderful art book from the Ace Attorney games. And honestly, I forgot to tell this as well. The Ace Attorney games, actually, in my opinion, has got like the best character designs in like any games. They're some of my most favorite things to look at. And they fully understand that when you have a game that is completely surrounded by characters on screen the whole time, you better make sure they're like the most interesting thing to look at. Kiddings is going to lurk for a bit. No worries. Almost there. I've almost got it. There we go. The game is called the game is called the Hokkaido Serial Murder Case over here. I'm just trying to get a code for that one now, but I wasn't being able to. But yeah, that's another great visual novel game about murder mysteries that came out as well. It's actually a remake of one of the very first games to do that as well, ever. Big by the Dragon Quest director. Very interesting. Luna's Atlas is here as well. Welcome in, Luna's Atlas. And I think we had another person coming in. Jers is here as well. Welcome in, Jers. Welcome. Right. Okay, let's have a look. What else is here? Ah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. Ugh, that killer's going to pay. This tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart, and it can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasting one of my monthly paychecks. Okay, wait. Can we look at that? There we go. Ah! Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing around. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it that you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Yes, there is. I think he's going to refer to the fact that there's 2 bullets in this scene. Did I say contradiction? You must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods that I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. So this is the bullet hole. This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point at it with the cursor and then press triangle with conviction. When I found sufficient proof to prove my contradiction, I present it. That is how I do things. Right, this is the thing, because over here it says, issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon. Only 1 shot was fired. Eureka! There it is. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first fell to the victim, and the second fell to his frame. Hey, that's right! However, the gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like that you're imagining is inside. Now, if you would kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! What? Well, talk about dusty! I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it off once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I've installed personally. Every prosecutor office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session, especially an updated autopsy. They definitely keep those in there. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. A secret safe. Each prosecutor has one in their office. Only they know of them. Trial evidence use. I won't rest until I inspect. Yep, he's going to say that a whole lot now. Right, let's see what the chat say. Some say it belongs to the Queen, says Sengui, as in the T set. I love how every time the game references Phoenix, it's never by his actual name. Yes, too sharp. I think it's because it brings up more questions, because remember, he's not supposed to be in this game. So I think if you say the mention of Phoenix Wright, it just confuses people who went into this, but that's just my guess, you know. Right, let's have a look at this thing over here. Now, this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, do you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. The prints were wiped from it. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Awesome. Right, let me just also save as well. There we go. How many save files can you make? You can make 20 of them. Awesome. Now, you'd probably think, like, why would you need 20 save files? Trust me, when you're a content creator like Rosie is, it's always good to know how many save files you can use. Yeah, okay, let's try this out over here. Right, so we have a couple of details here. Why the killer's goal? Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? All the fingerprints were wiped. Another handgun that I found. Could there be another gun in play here? My files are a mess, pointing and struggle. So, I think these two should be connected, so let's have a go with it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Woo! I believe I figured out what the murderer was. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering a theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break and theft was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Right, let's have a look. Files are a mess, pointing, yeah. I don't think it really does anything, but I could try, I suppose. I don't think this is it. Okay, it did work. There's a possibility that flies splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Ah! You mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm going to shelve files like you've never seen before, even in a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. What? Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. By the way, buddies, like I said a while ago, we are going to be doing some Astrobot after this stream. Just to let you know, it's going to be around 10 o'clock. So if you want to see more content coming your way, just so you know, that's the thing that we're going to be doing later. I will probably have to go offline and online quickly. That's only for to save Liam the headache of setting up a different VOD for it. But yes, we're going to be doing some Astrobot as well. If people are wondering where I'm at, by the way, because I'll play the game in a bit, but I'll just explain it quickly. If people are wondering where I'm at, I'm currently at the point where I'm about to fight the snake in the world. So I'm at World 3. Once I've done that, then I'm going to World 4. Just so you know. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? Well, first, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where these things go, despite it being Mr. Edward's office. Because I'm the only one that keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. There we go. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Why is Portsmouth surprised by this? Look at the files, like, it's just alphabetical. You don't need to be a rocket scientist for that. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Those bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell to the floor, right? The blood on the floor kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you do know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah, what's interesting is the bullet hole over here. To me. So this is where the bullet was lodged after it went through the victim, huh? Because, you know, it's quite low if that was where his stomach was. Nico is... Again, I can't say that on stream. You cannot make me say that. Let's see. Stu Sharp says, not sure who made the poll, but if memory serves me, there is a character in one of the Ace Attorney games that is Dustin Prince. Yeah, I think so as well, yeah. With that one. So you say, oh my. You know, when I you know, Kevin, I can say that stuff when we're out, but I can't say that when we're playing home. You know what I mean? And so for the bullet to be lodged, to be squarely in file spy, indicates that the file were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Okay. So when it's gold, we can inspect it. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands after being shot. There are prints on the floor too. Those must have been from when he was able to stay standing. He dropped to the floor. Okay, so I'm guessing this will be the same then. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position where after being shot. Oh, that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood too. That would make the logical conclusion. Okay, so we've got a tick here, tick here. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's there's blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See? I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. I put them all back, just like how they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything missing. Although, it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through the shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Okay, we scan all of this as well. Okay, I think we need to do something. So let me just quickly save. Just like with any other point-and-click game, you always save scum, right? Right. Okay, let's have a look at the evidence. Which button was that again? R1. Right. Proof of my profession. However, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. Issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon. Only shot one fire shot. The bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found around... Yes, okay. I know what we're going to do. We're going to point at this. I'm going to do that again. I have a feeling that I was a bit off with that one. Yeah, there we go. Now we're on it. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? I think it's this one. There's a clear contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? When... I'm not gonna lie, buddies. When they say there's a clear contradiction, that usually means you've done really bad, and then you're about to get punished for it. So I was very nervous for a second. You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should have been much higher up. But what if the guy was shot whilst he was sitting on the floor, lying on the floor down? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means that you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means that someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from a mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole position? It's the order of the files. Good evening, Richie. Welcome on in. He's saying, objection! Hope you're doing well, Richie. We're playing Ace Attorney Investigations Collection right now. Did you have a good Saturday? You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey! Actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah! You see, here's where the files... You see how the files were shot begin with the number 0? What are those things doing all the way down? And then down there after 1, 2, and 3. That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Ah, so that's it! I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in a numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They're finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. I thought we were going for this for a second. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. Oh my god, they actually moved the body. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. Thank you so much for the bits, Mr. Donny. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceed to shoot the victim. But why should someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into a disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time. Oh, excuse me. At the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Now let's have a look over here. Yeah, I agree, Mr. James Heath. I think that moving a cadaver is not really... It's quite a taboo. As I suspected. The bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed. There are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. Okay. There must be some reason to why the victim's body was moved. There's no time to ponder that. Let's now continue with our investigation, Detective. Oh, roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. Okay, so I think now Edward wants to do some other stuff. Have a chat with him. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Seeing Mr. Portsman tearing up like that has brought an unstoppable torrent of tears to my own eyes, sir. Were you good friends with Mr. Faith, pal? No, sir. I just can't help myself. I'm sympathetic to other people's tears. Yeah, you're going to find a lot in these games, buddies, where a lot of characters will very emotionally side with people. Nico was unintentionally hiding evidence, by the way. Was the camera in front of the evidence? It's too sharp. Busy year for us at the moment. Oh, no way. Yeah, I'm in a quite similar position, Richie, where it's like the end of a quarter, so it's like, you know, trying to get your results in kind of stuff, and yeah, super exhaustive. If I may make a suggestion, I'd clean myself up so not to give the wrong impression. Okay, we've done that. Let's go up here. We might need to talk to our friend over here. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Oh, Jim, your laugh, your smile. I'll never be able to joke around with you again. But don't you worry, Jim. I'll joke around enough for the both of us, you'll see. He's not listening at all. Mr. Portsman is in his own little world, it seems. Oh, sorry, buddies. I need to keep moving the camera around for a bit. Right, let's have a look here again. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's the evidence we were looking for. Let me just very quickly set something up over here, buddies. Give me one sec. Oh. One sec. One sec. Awesome. Okay, there we go. It went surprisingly well today. Oh, you had to work today as well, Richie. I'm sorry to hear that. No, the richest of the... Oh, eBack! Wonderful! Fantastic. You have picked a great channel for today because eBack is a big, big, big fan of the Ace Attorney trilogy. Can we get a shout out for eBack the Cat moderators? eBack the Cat does a show on Saturdays, I believe, called Silly Voices. And what he does is he has a wonderful crew and he voice directs the entire game in that one. Iron Bird, thanks so much for the sub as well. And he directs the entire game with his cast as well. And I'm pretty sure he has done the Ace Attorney Investigations games as well. We have Cool Kevs, who's following us. Thank you so much for the follow, Cool Kevs. Weird is here as well. Welcome in, Weird. Yeah, you guys are doing Sea of Stars right now because I think you guys have gone through the entire franchise. Divot, thanks so much for the follow. Whilst we are here, eBack, I want to show you this. Laura Petzel's here as well. We got the entire Weird Blast crew over here. eBack, I really want to show you this because you might like this. Check this out. Let me just... oh, no, it's fine. Check this out. I have got the Naruhodo Legends Collection imported from Japan, and it's got these two games with it, which I'm very, very proud of owning. Yeah, it's such a nice thing to look at. And I have this one. Came in actually last week. I was quite excited for it, but I finally have a physical copy of Apollo Justice over here as well. So it won't get lost over time in digital stores and stuff. At least I've got my guarantee. I've got it now. And yeah, I've got tons of other Ace Attorney games around me, as you can see at the moment. So yeah, we're playing, was it Ace Attorney Investigations Collection provided to you by Capcom. Thank you so much for that, Capcom. Big fan of your games. And we're doing the first case of Ace Attorney Investigations. Laura Petal is listing all the games that you guys have done. Indeed, there's so many games. Whew. Even Later versus Right, nice. I forgot to put that down there. We own that one as well, but Rosie owns it. Now, for the crime scene, is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. So, what is it? How was Sea of Stars, by the way? I know that we have a couple of people in our community who have finished Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is on my infinite list of guilty games I've yet to play. I played a little bit of Sea of Stars, and I really enjoyed it. Reminded me a lot of Mario and Luigi. And now another Mario and Luigi is coming, so too many games. This. What is that? Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of a criminal activity indeed. No, wait! There must be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen too. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is that what the killer was really after? The stolen file was added to your organizer. Investigation complete. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. Even if you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You've got it! I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. There must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Huh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? I might as well. Right, buddies, I'm going to have a very quick toilet break, but I'll be back in a second. So, don't leave. I'll be back in a second. Trust me on this one. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I had to have a quick toilet break. EBAC.
BCV.
If you're BCV. EBAC, if you're still here, could you let me know? Because I really want to show you some awesome stuff that this version of the game's got. Because obviously you're a huge fan of the Ace Attorney franchise. Come on, says Mr. James Ether. All right, first I listened to witness testimony. Can I still go in the options menu? Yes, I can. Okay, awesome. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with R1 and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use the triangle button, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with L1. Something by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations too. Awesome, EVAC. One sec, I'll finish the dialogue and I'll show you some really cool stuff this version's got. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. There we go. Awesome. So, eBack, this collection's got some really cool quality of life improvements. Yeah, I think they're all here. Okay, not all of them, but so what you can do with this version is you obviously we now have autoplay with the Great Ace Attorney as well. But what you can do is you can slow down the waiting time of the autoplay. So if you're like me, who's a non-native speaker and is a bit slower with reading, you can now put it down so it doesn't scroll too fast. So you can set that to whatever setting that you prefer in regards of how fast you read. Obviously, you got the auto feature as well, which is great that it's here. And something that is also cool is that you can obviously swap between soundtracks as well if you prefer. You can also swap between graphics if you prefer. But one thing I also think is really cool, it's not a here now in the game, but it's definitely the title screen. You can also swap out the voice directions, but still have it in English. So if you're one of those people that would prefer to hear the Japanese voices for your Eureka moments and stuff, you can do that and then still play it in English. So you can have best of both with it. So yeah, those are like features that I've not seen in the other Ace Attorney games, which I thought was worth mentioning. So something that I think you would appreciate as well as an Ace Attorney fan. Carl's leaving saying, I need to head off, folks. Thanks for the great stream, Nico and chat. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great night yourself, Carl and Amber and Luna. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for a bit of Bloodborne. Yeah, again, Capcom just smashing it with these versions, like widescreen and HD graphics and stuff. We got Insomnia Aaron doing a Crash Bandicoot noise. I got one for you. There you go. And like I said, we're going to do some Astrobot in a little bit as well, which I'm excited to play again. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be my final words that you will be brought to justice. Also, eBack, I saw the Ace Attorney account tweet this as well, but this game, for the very first time, is getting a physical release here in the West as well, here in Europe. You can actually now buy a physical copy of the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, which I'm just so pleased with. Like, no longer do we have to wait weeks until a physical copy arrives from Asia. It's just such a big win for us. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message pointed to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. So this is your what is it? This is your typical Ace Attorney moment. So if you're like all about cross-examinations, it's also in this game. So yes, let's do a safe scum. Because I'm always nervous that I will not do this well. There we go. You stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Now, why would he steal the gun if he has probably a gun himself? You know, there's something I'm meaning to ask. Huh? What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion, Jack and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jack and Buddies just sounds off somehow. Say scum like a pro, says Aaron. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had the victim committed theft instead. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel, to shuffle my shelves twice to do that? That's true, but okay, maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Ashworth? It is a possibility. Maybe your salary has been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them may be instant noodles, but... Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? The guy goes around nicknaming everyone Jim. I hear David in my ear doing his over-the-top French voice he did for Shark. Nice. Yeah, I just went for voices I'm a bit slightly comfortable with, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Also, it's late, and I don't want to do too many, like, wacky voices. That's when you move Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf.
Hold it!
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in the way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was leaving. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't make much of for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. But why would you do something like that, sir? Not you too, Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective could be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters. And I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for a game-finishing spike. Okay, we've done that now. We could press the last statement, but I think we have enough to prove our first point here. Right, let's have a look. How do I present? There we go. Oh, the music is so good as well in this game. And thanks to that, you didn't notice the letters his body was hiding. Well, these letters were on the floor. And they were upside down. So that's also interesting, isn't it? I think I'm thinking a bit too far ahead here. Mess up the files that made it look like you can... Right, let's give this a go. Ay. It would behoove you to take a good look at this. I see, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. Is that so? You're not at the top of your game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? I can't allow him to set pace here. I must remain calm. Not only by doing so, I can find the fatal flaw in his reasoning. Right, I'm going to try another one.
Objection!
Yeah, we did it! Let's go! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Ha! Bringing it a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. But what are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it. Ha ha ha. If you have the time to laugh, then you will have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? But what? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Postman? Oh, nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It is possible that he could have taken the files before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. This track is, by the way, new. This track wasn't in the original. Right. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone and the only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that he even could overlook his own name written in blood. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Ah! That was a bit loud. I'm so sorry, everyone. That was like lurking. I'm so sorry. Everyone's coming out of lurk to be like, which tab was that? Which tab did that? People are coming out of lurk to be like, what? Oh my god. Right, I'll lower the volume next time I'm making a gas noise. Which means what exactly? What does that mean? Miss Bouquet, oh no. I've started Miss Bouquet. Yeah, the lurkers are gone. They're like, nah, I'm out. He's too loud for me. He's too loud for me. It makes it worth. It makes it work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of an Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad to see everyone so cheery. Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? Well, that would be me. But Mr. Etchworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. Yes. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense you still have something to say? Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with a key to this office? One other person? And I know he's going to say. Hey, you there! Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch an escort, that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Do you say security? No! Stop it, pal! Don't! Liam Coolgang says, book me! Liam, I could have sworn you've already subbed. Buddies, do you think Liam was holding in the sub until we may or may not hit the sub goal? Welcome on in, Liam. We're actually going to do a bit of Astrobot coming up. I'm actually really in the mood to play some Astrobot today. So, we're going to do that. We're going to blast the roof off whilst you're gone. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Have you enjoyed the weather today? Because we had little chats about that today. I believe there's no introduction. It needs no introduction, because I have called upon Miss Baggy Baird, a member of the security. Yo, it's Maggie! Yes! Oh my god. Okay, so I'll just keep it short. Maggie is a character that occurred in other Ace Attorney games, and it's such a shame to see that she's being accused again for murder. Maggie! Miss Byers is a security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? We had fish and chips and watched some hot air balloons going over our heads. It was lovely. That's probably the most Bristolian thing I've heard today. But that's great. I hope you had a good time. My point is that she could have very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not guilty of the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only person with access to this room is Miss Byard. How dare you! I would never sneak... Oh, how dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room! That's right! I refuse to believe Maggie's bride is the culprit, pal! It was me! That's right! I did it! Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it was really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That the girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Oh. The reason for suspicion. Right, buddies, I think I'm going to call this the cutoff point for Ace Attorney investigations. Now, this is going to be an interesting transition. Because I need to do a couple of things quickly. I'm going to copy this. Let me just do a couple of things quick. Because, again, this is a show of multiple people. And because of that, I need to... normally, we'd have other people doing this as well whilst we're doing the other stuff. But, yes, this is a perfect cliffhanger for that one. Just do this and this quickly. There. Let me then just... set this up over here. There. There. Okay, awesome. That's now in place. Remove these quickly. So we can make that transition as smooth as possible. This one. Awesome. Okay. I'm only on my phone. Sorry, you're on your own. No worries, Liam. I can tackle this one. I've already planned how I'm going to plan this one out. But yes, so this was the Ace Attorney Investigations collection for you all today. Like I said, it's out on many platforms, on PlayStation, and it's on Switch, and it's on Steam. I think those are the platforms it's out on right now. As I said, it follows up from the original DS game. The sequel is now obviously officially translated as well. And if you thought this was cool, definitely check it out. There's so many Ace Attorney games. We finally collected, I think, yeah, we've collected all of them now. They're on every platform, as far as I know. Most platforms, I mean. And I cannot thank you enough for that one, Capcom, because I was on the hunt for these games for years now, and I've collected most of them, but I'm just so happy that more people can now enjoy them in many platforms, and also for preservation, it's great to see them on platforms like Steam as well, which means that from here on out, from decades to come, people will still be able to play these games. So, again, thank you so much for that one, Capcom. And thank you also so much for trusting BuddyGames with your beloved franchises as well. Right, buddies. The Book of Eternity will happen during the Astro stream as well, so I don't really feel the need to give that a shout yet. But your names are noted down for the people that have sub-bits and raided into us. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go quickly offline and go instantly back online. I haven't left. It's just so that we can split the VOD up quite nicely. And then we can move on to Astrobot. But yeah, if you're on the VOD today, thank you so much for watching BuddyGames. We're going to do now move into Astrobot. And if you want to see more content on our channel, look for the Apollo Justice Trilogy stream that we've done in the past as well. But yes, I'm going to sign off for this stream for now, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Bye, everyone!